Hello, everyone. Right, fingers crossed this works. So straight away, I'm just going to look at the chat before we get into everything. If you can just let me know that you can hear me and see me. Hopefully the sound and audio are linked up and that everything is working. So yes, good evening, everyone. I really do hope you can see me. You can see I've got my Man United shirt on. So obviously delighted by the Cristiano Ronaldo news. Very, very exciting. Cool. Looks good. Look loud and clear. All good. Cheers. Lovely stuff. Cool. If I'm too loud, let me know and I can adjust the mic, or if I'm too quiet, let me know as well. Lovely stuff. Cool. 26 people here. Delighted. So this, if you've just come to this channel for the first time, this is my first ever stream. So I don't know how well my laptop and Wi-Fi are all going to hold up and everything like that, but I have been working on it behind the scenes. So fingers crossed it's all going to hold up absolutely fine. I'm not sure how long we're going to stream for today. We could be streaming for over an hour. We could be streaming for 20 minutes. We'll see how all of the tech does, and we'll also see how much everyone's enjoying the video in the chat. So, right, without further ado, we'll move on to the first topic today to discuss, and of course, it's going to be that man Ronaldo. So if you haven't been on Twitter today, what have you been doing? Get on Twitter, have a look. Ronaldo has joined Manchester United, confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. Obviously, I am wearing my Manchester United kit. I'm a big Manchester United fan. I can't believe it. Obviously, the news that Ronaldo was looking like he was going to join Manchester City, it broke my heart. I was absolutely devastated. Then, all of a sudden, massive U-turn. We see Rio Ferdinand tweets this morning with the Leonardo DiCaprio laughing gif with ... And I think from then on, everyone knew that something was happening behind the scenes. And it looks like all of the past players, perhaps Sir Alex Ferguson, have convinced Ronaldo to essentially join Manchester United and come back for The Last Dance, that little play on the Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls documentary on Netflix, if you have watched that. So what I've done for this is, I know it's difficult going from the Serie A to the Premier League. I know we don't know how he's going to line up. We don't know when he's going to start. But I saw a lot of people saying he's 36, he's past it. If you are on Twitter, it actually said, it was trending, he's 36. And it was people basically saying he's past it. So what I thought I'd do is I'd just flash up the stats on the screen from his past season in the Serie A. So this isn't involving international duty, it isn't involving the Champions League or anything like that. This is just pure league form. And you can see the stats are outstanding. It absolutely doesn't matter that he's aging. I know the Serie A isn't quite the test that the Premier League is, but there's still some top teams in there. And if you follow Gianni on Twitter, Gianni actually believes that the defence in the Serie A, the centre-backs, are harder to play against than in the Premier League. That's why he was so excited about Lukaku coming to the Prem. So if that is the case, these statistics are fantastic. So I've gone for 12.5 million. So let me know in the chat if the internet and everything's still holding up. What do you reckon he's going to be priced at? So I've gone for 12.5. I'm almost certain it will be a forward because yes, he plays 11 mil. He plays left mid occasionally or left wing. There's a small chance. I'd say maybe 5% that he could be listed as a midfielder, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a forward. And I don't see them making him 13 mil. I don't see them making him more expensive than Salah, who obviously has had a 300-point season in the past. 13 mil from Anthony. Mitch, 12.5 to 13. 12. Yeah, so it looks like everyone seems to think around 12 million, 12.5. I think anything over 13, and it's genuinely a debate as to whether we should have him. I think anything 12 and under, it's going to be very, very difficult to ignore him. Obviously, he's probably not going to play against, definitely not going to play against Wolves this weekend unless they really rush through the medical and all the paperwork. So it'll be for Newcastle at home in game week 4. Is likely going to be his debut. He performed brilliantly against Newcastle in the past. Obviously, we've got Steve Bruce, who's quite an astute manager, but I don't expect him to be able to do much to stop Ronaldo. It's just so romantic, isn't it? Old Trafford in front of the fans for his first game back after ejecting Manchester City. I think I've got to find a way to get him into my team. We'll have a play around with it later, but I've got to find a way to get him into my team. Yeah, aging or not, 12 or 14 million, he'll be in your team, Ali. Yep, I don't doubt that. He can't play this weekend. Yeah, okay. Perfect. Thanks for that, Mark. I didn't realise he'd actually missed the registration deadline, which is fine. I'm just going to pull the chat over there a little bit. 12 would be unreal. We're going to find out how essential Salah and Bruno really are now. Yeah. So a lot of people have said Salah and Bruno are season keepers, and no matter what happens, I'm going to have Salah throughout the season. And I said that so many times, like Salah and Trent are season keepers. I've already been looking at moving Trent out to get Kane in for this weekend. And now with Ronaldo in the team, I think Salah or Bruno obviously have to be dropped. It's going to be very difficult to fit Ronaldo, Salah and Bruno in. Then you've still got Kane. Then you've got Lukaku's fixtures turn from game week 7. So I think it's going to be very difficult to ignore. I think a lot of people are going to be wildcarding in game week 4. What I've seen a few people talk about, if you follow Big Man Bakar on Twitter, if you don't, why not? He's obviously amazing with everything. Co-host of the FPL Wire. He said that potentially it could be the case that he wildcards this week to get onto Kane before everyone else, and then he moves Kane onto Ronaldo next week. So in that way, he gets the best captain for this game week, arguably in Kane, and then he can move to Ronaldo next week. So there is a case to be made to be wildcarding right now. And I'm going to tinker a little bit later if the stream holds up, and we'll talk about if I was wildcarding now, who would definitely be on the list. But definitely something to consider. So just for those of you that are on a screen or you're just listening and you can't see the stats, I'm just going to read out Ronaldo's stats per 90 from the Serie A last season. So the most notable is goals per 90, 0.93. So he's basically scoring a goal every 90 minutes. Very notably, assists per 90 is 0.06. We know Ronaldo, this sort of like narrative that Ronaldo is a greedy player, that he doesn't want to pass to his teammates. And this sort of supports that. I do think it's more that he's just very talismanic. And I think he obviously plays on the last line, likes to get into the box, and players feed him. So I don't necessarily think it's because he's greedy and doesn't pass. But obviously he's not got much of an assist potential in FPL, but we don't really care about that, to be honest. Trent might be the only truly essential player in FPL, even he's, yeah. I don't think Trent's truly essential. I think dropping Trent down to Livramento, for example, allowed me to get from Ings to Lukaku or Ings to Kane. So I see the appeal in dropping Trent. And I think particularly for game week 3 and 4, Liverpool playing Chelsea and then Leeds. Do you need Trent in the team? I don't think so. I think you could drop Trent. So I like this because I think the template has been far too strong on Twitter and on YouTube and everywhere. Everywhere you look, everyone's got very similar teams and everyone's doing really well. Most people are anyway. And I like the fact that there's now a template breaker in Ronaldo and Lukaku and Kane coming back into full fitness, and it's forcing people to make these decisions, and it's just going to make it more interesting. FPL Pot Noodle said, I'm so tempted to do this. Yeah, I'm tempted. I don't like rushing my wildcard, and that's the main reason is when I'm playing my wildcard, I like to use it to build up team value. I like to use it to really think about who I want and target fixture swings and get the best team structure possible. If I play my wildcard tonight or tomorrow morning, it's going to be very rushed. There's no clear fixture swing. I'm doing it in a very aggressive manner, and I have had quite a good start to the season, and I'm not sure that I want to risk that. And again, if you've read my book on the psychological aspects of FPL, I tell people to play to their strengths, and I don't think I'm a particularly risk-seeking individual. I don't like to take too many risks in FPL. I like to play it safe, and I like to pick the best time to take a risk, and when I do, I commit to it. And I don't feel particularly committed to a wildcard this week. So not sure. Should I use my wildcard right now? Please help. It depends on your team. If you didn't start very well and you've got a lot of players in your team that are rotation risks. So my good friend on Twitter, Nighthawk FPL, he's played his wildcard this week, and he's not normally the sort of manager that would do that, but he had the likes of Ben White. He wanted to cash out Tsimikas. He had Parika on the bench, I think. So he had like 4 or 5 players that were either injured or don't play rotation risk. He also didn't have the likes of Ben Rama or Antonio. So if you're looking at your team and your bench is weak and you've got players that you want to jump on and you want to get the likes of Kane in this week for captaincy and you're looking at Ronaldo, I don't see an issue with wildcarding now at all. I think it's a very aggressive strategy, but I think it could work really well. My question would be, can you get through to game week 4 without playing your wildcard? If you can get through to game week 4 without playing your wildcard, then I don't see any reason why you wouldn't do that, because we don't know what's going to happen in the international break. Are players going to come back with coronavirus? Are they going to have to quarantine? I would rather go into the international break and then play my wildcard after into game week 4, when you can get Lukaku in against Aston Villa, or you can have Kane in for I think it's against Crystal Palace, their fixture, Ronaldo against Newcastle. I think there's a clear fixture swing in 4, and you've got the information from the international break as well. FPL, don't take the L. Hello, mate. You okay? Evening, mate. Bet you're absolutely buzzing. Bruno out, Ronaldo in. Not yet, but it's definitely tempting. But yeah, I'm buzzing. I've been emotional all day. So I'm 24 years old. So when Ronaldo left the first time, I was at school, and there's something called in psychology, we talk about flashbulb moments or flashbulb memories. So people know where they are the day that 9/11 happened or the day that JFK was assassinated. These events, people know where they were. And when people talk about it as a flashbulb, there's that very strong memory you can pinpoint and you can say that was the time where this event happened. And I have a flashbulb memory with Ronaldo moving to Real Madrid. I remember I was walking down the stairs in my maths department. I think I was in like year 7 or year 8, walking down the stairs, and someone behind me poked me and said, Ronaldo's just gone to Real Madrid for 80 million or whatever it was. And I remember I was devastated. I was at school. I couldn't focus on any of my lessons because Ronaldo was my hero. Because I'm at that age where, like the likes of Giggs and Beckham, I love them obviously, but it was slightly before my time. I grew up watching Ronaldo, and he meant everything to me. He was my hero. So when he left, I was gutted. So I'm perhaps even more sentimental toward Ronaldo than even other people are. So yeah, absolutely buzzing. I've been smiling all for the last hour or two, but before that, I've just been sweating. I've been nervous. I've been a mess. Haven't got any of the work done that I should have been getting done. So yeah, I've just seen that we've got 65 viewers at the moment. I don't know if that's accurate. Hopefully it is. If you have not subscribed to the channel, if this is your first time checking out my channel, please do subscribe. If you're in the chat, please do like as well. Goes a long way. It's free for you guys, so please like, subscribe. If you're enjoying, tell other people that you're in the stream and you're enjoying it as well. That's absolutely great. This YouTube channel is fairly new, but it's been growing at a crazy rate because you guys are just amazing and you've been so supportive. So is he definitely 12.5? No, sorry. I should have put a question mark on the graphic. He's not definitely 12.5. I've just got a feeling that's the price. I think they'll price him the same as Salah. He's arguably still the second best player in the world. Potentially the best. I'm not going to have the Ronaldo-Messi debate here. So he's still in the top few players in the world. I'd be surprised if he's anything less than 12, and I'd be very surprised if he's anything more than 13. So I think 12, 12.5 or 13. So I've just gone in the middle, and I think he'll be a forward. Mark saying Ronaldo will likely be 11.5 to 12. Okay, if he's 11.5, my word, I'm definitely getting him in then. Absolutely. I'm just going to switch to my team. Just so that you can see what I've got going into Game Week 3. By the way, spent about 3 hours on Adobe After Effects making a stinger transition. So for those that don't know, a stinger transition is when you're switching between your different scenes. So it's like a little transition. So let me know what you think about this little stinger transition. It took me far too long to make, but anyway, makes it a little bit more professional when you're switching between the scenes. So this is my team currently going into Game Week 3. I've used one free transfer, so I had 2 free transfers going into Game Week 3. I've used one, and I did Gundogan to Rafinha, which has left me with 0.9 million in the bank. So I've still got one free transfer. I don't plan on using it, but this is my team going in. So happy for your mate. What a return. Cheers, Anthony. Thank you, mate. He's been added to Fan Team. Yeah, I saw. So if you play Fan Team, which is, for those of you that don't, it's like FPL, but you pay money to enter. It's about £20 to enter. And it's a season-long game as well. So Fan Team have added him. Basically, because Fan Team aren't affiliated with the Premier League, they can add players before they're official. So they've added him for 11.5 million. So Fan Team have priced him at 11.5. Now, Fan Team are traditionally a little bit more liberal with their price, and they're a little bit kinder. So I would suggest if FPL are in line with that, they'll be going for about 12, 12.5. I only have 12.4 to spend on him. I swear if he's 12.5, I'll be so sad, Luca. Yeah. I'll show you later. I can make a switch where I can get Trent, I can get Kane in at the expense of Trent this week, but I don't have anything in the bank. So if he's 12.5, that won't work anyway. Fire transition, very smooth. Oh, cheers, guys. I really appreciate that. I'm loving it, to be fair. I love making the graphics. I love all of the... I'm very new to this. I'm not from a graphic design background, but I love it. FPL... I don't know if you're in the chat, FPL graphics, but FPL graphics obviously taught me a lot of everything I know, basically, and he created a lot of the templates. But from there, I've been trying to learn myself because, yeah, why not? Why not try to better ourselves? Mark, looks cool. Ross, graphics are one thing you smashed. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Raptor. Thank you, Mohammed. Appreciate that. Too much hype on Ronaldo at the moment. All depends. Yeah. So a lot of players, when they first come to the Prem, we say we're going to wait and see. We did that with Lukaku and we saw what happened. I do wonder if the likes of Ronaldo and Lukaku aren't wait and sees. I wonder whether they just take the plunge straight away before they start rising in price and start being brought in by the masses. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. All statistics of Juve dropped for the past 2 years. So we did just look at that. Yes, they've dropped. I still think they are absolutely remarkable statistics, even for a premium player. And again, I know the Premier League's different to the Serie A, but I don't look at those statistics and think, wow, he's 36, what a massive drop-off. Scoring a goal per game. Even if you say he's like a penalty merchant, like Bruno Fernandes, etc., his non-penalty XG per 90 is 0.66 in the 96th percentile. His expected assist, again, really poor, but non-penalty expected goals and assists of 0.75. He's getting 3 returns every 4 games. I'm absolutely fine with that. Yes, I know the Premier League is different and we don't know how Ollie's going to play him. And Ollie isn't renowned for being able to fit in lots of premium players and doing very well with them. But I don't think he's dropped off enough to worry, in my opinion, anyway. Anthony, graphics and video quality have been outstanding. Thank you so much, mate. I put in a lot of effort, but it's so nice when people appreciate that. So thank you. How Lukaku hasn't risen yet, I have no idea. So, for those of you that don't know, I'm working with Fantasy Football Fix this season, doing price change prediction videos on their channel. So after you've watched this, go over to the Fantasy Football Fix channel, subscribe. I am now a YouTuber for Fantasy Football Fix. And as part of that, we're doing predicted price change videos every single evening. So Lukaku was locked for the first 7 days. That's been the way that the algorithms worked for the Premier League price changes. So when a player first moves to the Premier League, they are locked in price for the first 7 days. So Ronaldo will not go up in price for the first 7 days when he's announced in the game, unless they've changed the algorithm, but I don't think they have. So for the first 7 days, Ronaldo will stay at the price. Even if 5 million managers bring him in, it will stay at 12.5 or whatever he's priced at. However, Lukaku still hasn't changed in price, which makes us think, again, there's no way of knowing this straight away, have FPL changed the API, the coding, so that maybe it's now the first 10 days. Perhaps Lukaku's locked in price for the first 10 days. Perhaps they've changed it to 2 weeks. Obviously, they don't make this information public. So whilst Fantasy Football Fix have a machine learning algorithm that predicts these things, they might have made a change and just not told us about it. So I'm very interested to see whether, potentially he might not change in price, Lukaku, for the next few days. Again, he might be locked for a certain period of time, but it's good to know for Ronaldo that you don't have to bring him in at the risk of rising in price, because after the first 7 days, you've got the first 7 days before he changes. What else is the chat saying? Yeah, so that anyway, Hussein, that's why he's not changed in price for the first 7 days at least, but I don't know why he's still not changing. There might be a slight change in the price change algorithm. Ronaldo is a better passer than most give credit for. Yet he is a great passer. It's just that assist and expected assist is very low. I think his passing is very good in the build-up, but he doesn't look to find other players. But it's normally because he's occupying those spaces to score goals. Mark, the only thing about Ronaldo is now he makes Bruno and Greenwood bad options. So as a United fan, I think Ronaldo makes Bruno a better option, and I think Ronaldo makes Greenwood a better option when he's on the pitch. Ronaldo will now be on penalties. For anyone that's coming to this stream looking for an answer, is Ronaldo now on penalties? Yes, Ronaldo is now on penalties. He took them for Portugal. He'll call rank over Bruno. I can't imagine Bruno trying to upset the status quo. Bruno does have a better conversion rate than Ronaldo, so Bruno should be taking penalties, but I don't think he will be. I think that'll be Ronaldo. Greenwood, yes, that's another player now that has come into the fray. Now Greenwood's an even greater rotation risk, but I think Greenwood can learn a lot from Ronaldo. He's going to learn about commitment, dedication. I think people forget how much of an athlete and professional Ronaldo is. There's a reason he's still playing at 36 years old. Absolutely fine. It's because he's a professional. He works hard on his fitness. So I think Greenwood will learn a lot from him over the next year or two. But yeah, I suppose rotation-wise, Greenwood's now a slight risk. I don't know that I would be looking to bring in Greenwood in the short term. I mean, if you've got him already, you keep him, absolutely. But I think if I was on wildcard, I don't know that Greenwood would be in my wildcard team. Napoleon, your graphics are 100% so good. Thank you so much, mate. I really do appreciate that. One other thing excluded from price rises are wildcard transfers. Thank you, Mark. Yes, so wildcard transfers don't count towards price changes either. So in Game Week 4, if 2 million managers wildcard and bring in Ronaldo, none of those wildcard transfers will cause a price rise in Bruno Fernandes. So the fact that he's locked for 7 days, the fact that wildcard transfers don't count towards price changes, Bruno Fernandes shouldn't change in price. Sorry, not Bruno Fernandes. Cristiano Ronaldo. Sorry if I've been saying Bruno. Cristiano Ronaldo should not change in price in those first 7 days, potentially even the first couple of weeks of coming into the game. So we should be fine for the time being. I guess that 5 million managers would have him. Yeah. I mean, he's going to be brought in by a lot of players. A lot of the casuals are going to want him. A lot of the serious players will also want him. Yeah, but we know that really. Leeds 12 to 13 million. Yeah, I think 12.5 mark. I think he can go up to 13, but I personally think 12.5 is likely for Ronaldo. Hey Ross, hello Tiago, hello. How are you, mate? Hope you're all right. Ronaldo will help Bruno's creativity. Absolutely spot on. Ronaldo is going to be... It's like when Cavani's on the pitch. But that doesn't affect Bruno in a bad way. That's absolutely brilliant. The only reason that it will negatively affect Bruno is he's no longer on pens. And that did contribute a lot to his underlying statistics from last year. So, yeah. That's the one thing that I would worry about is penalties. But other than that, wild card, here we go. Ali, I did. So Ali's just said there is an option in YouTube you can schedule a live stream. I scheduled it 3 days ago, so it's been scheduled there for a while. Sorry if it didn't notify you. I can look into that. It might have been that I didn't notify my subscribers, but it has been scheduled. What I'm going to try and do, if this stream goes well, I'm going to try and stream the evening before the deadline. So if we're on a Friday evening stream, I'll try and Friday evening deadline, I'll try and stream on a Thursday evening. If we're on a Saturday morning stream, I'll try and stream on a Friday evening. I have just seen we are on 100 viewers. That is amazing. So if you're in the stream now and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. And if you haven't liked the video, please like the video as well. I can't actually see. I think, oh yeah, 34 likes. So there's 100 people in here and only 34 have liked it. So if you're one of the 100 people that hasn't liked the stream, please do that. And please subscribe to the channel. Cool. Gutted CR7 didn't go to City, the maestro. Yeah, mate, that must be terrible as a City fan, but I'm feeling quite smug about it, to be fair. I'm very, very happy. When will he be announced in FPL? So FPL will only announce when it's 100% confirmed, paperwork done, medical done, probably pictured in a Manchester United shirt. FPL will then probably 3 or 4 days after that announce it. They're pretty slow with that sort of thing, unfortunately. So, yeah. A few United fans giving it the big one in the chat to City fans. Do you think that my last free transfer to field a full 11 this game week, or do I save it and get Ronaldo in for Bruno next game week? It's very team dependent, but I would always use if you're not fielding 11 players, absolutely use your transfer to field 11 and then deal with next week when it comes. Love your content. Thank you, God's favour. I appreciate that. Vardy, Son, or Bruno for captain. We're going to discuss captaincy in like a few minutes once we've finished with this, but I'd probably captain Son out of those 3 options, mate. What are your transfer plans for this game week, Leeds United FC? So, sorry, I did just discuss that. I've already made the 1 free transfer of Gundogan to Rafinha. So I had 2 free transfers at the start of the week. I've already done Gundogan to Rafinha, which is why I've got 0.9 million in the bank. It's really annoying that Gundogan went down in price already. So that's why it's 0.9 rather than 1 million. So I've done Gundogan to Rafinha. I'm not going to use my other free transfer unless something else happens. You can see I'm fielding a really strong 11. I'm absolutely delighted with my team this week. I've got Cody, Brownhill and Tsimikas on the bench. So it's not the strongest bench, but I'd be surprised if any of my 11 miss out through anything other than a surprise injury or COVID. So I don't think I'll use my second free transfer. I'll probably roll that through to next week so that when everyone else is wildcarding, I at least have the option to not wildcard and instead just use my 2 free transfers. So that's what I'm doing this week. Is Trent a must? No, Trent is not a must. Trent is not essential. Trent can be used as a make weight, and I'll discuss a bit later if we have time. If I were to be wildcarding this week, I would not probably have Trent in my team. I'd probably be taking Trent out. Should I sell Bruno? Not this week. No, I wouldn't be selling Bruno. But on your wildcard, who knows? -4 in game week 4 for Ronaldo. Yeah, I think -4 in game week 4 for Ronaldo is the best strategy. I think try and get 2 free transfers this week. If not, just one's fine. And I think rearrange in game week 4. I think if you can hold your wildcard till game week 7, that's going to be absolutely huge. So yeah, that's what I would be doing, absolutely. I know you've got Rafinha and you prefer him versus Burnley going forward versus Barnes versus Norwich going forward. I've got Barnes right now. Oh, that's a tough one. If I had Barnes this week, I probably would move him to Rafinha, but I'm not suggesting you do the same. Sam Martin on Twitter, the Leicester in the know, he's got Harvey Barnes and he's keeping Harvey Barnes because he still predicts that Leicester will play a back 4 this week. So if Leicester play a 4-back formation, Harvey Barnes will probably start on the left wing. If Leicester play at 3 at the back or a 5 at the back, Harvey Barnes will probably drop out and Iheanacho will come into the starting 11. So it's worth finding out if Leicester are going to try and find out before the deadline, are Leicester going to play at 4 at the back or are they going to play at 3 at the back? If it's confirmed or it looks likely that Leicester are playing a 3 at the back, Harvey Barnes might not even start. And at the moment, Harvey Barnes is coming off. He came off in the 70th and 60th minute in the first 2 weeks. He's not even seeing out the full game. So I'd be tempted to just move on Harvey Barnes. But against Norwich, it just seems wrong, doesn't it? It does. It seems wrong moving a player up before Norwich. So I don't know. I'd probably move him out, but don't take my word for it. Worried about Bruno's price fall. Bruno won't fall in price for this week. He might before game week 4, but I'd be surprised even so. You've got to remember, Man United have got Newcastle in game week 4. Yes, people will be looking to get Ronaldo in, but I think it'll be people selling Salah. It'd be brave to sell Fernandes before Newcastle in game week 4. So I wouldn't worry about a Bruno price fall. Are we overlooking Kane? Not overlooking him, because it'll probably take a -4 or a restructure of your team to get him in, or taking out Bruno or Salah. So I don't think we're overlooking him. I did discuss it on Twitter yesterday. There is a way I can get Kane in. I'll show you in a bit. There is a way I can get Kane in, and I'm still sort of considering it, because I think Kane is the best captaincy option this week. One Rovers Vlogs. How's it going, FPL Raptor? Hello, mate. You okay? Just subscribed. Keep smashing the content. Thank you so much, mate. I appreciate you subscribing. Really, really do appreciate that. I'm loving it. I love making content. I hope that comes across when you're watching my videos. I'm absolutely loving it. Spending so much time behind the scenes, but I've loved every minute of being on YouTube so far. And live streams was the next step. And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to go for it, because I don't have the best laptop. My internet, so I'm a PhD student. So I live in sort of a student building. So my internet's terrible and my laptop's not very good, but it looks like it's holding up. I keep getting warnings from YouTube telling me that my stream quality is not good. So hopefully they're lying to me. I appreciate you subscribing though. Thank you very much, mate. Will you bring Ronaldo in next week? Probably. I'm very romantic with football, so probably I'll look at a way to get Ronaldo in next week, yeah. Bruno may be benched. No, mate, not at all. There's no way Bruno gets benched. Ronaldo and Bruno are in different positions anyway. Bruno's a number 10. So, no, Bruno will not be benched for Ronaldo. He will be taken off of penalty duty, though. So that's one thing. Should I swap out Mahrez to avoid a potential fall? Is Mahrez falling in price? Let's have a look. I will let you know right now. I didn't know that he was falling in price. Let's have a look. Oh, yes. Mahrez does look like he might fall in price. Okay. I still wouldn't take Mahrez out. Honestly, mate. I would keep Mahrez. Arsenal have looked pretty woeful. I think he will probably start. So, no, I would not be taking out Riyad Mahrez this week. But if you're very tight on money and you've got a plan going forward and you need that 0.1 million, then go for it. But yeah, it does look like Mahrez is going to fall in price. That's annoying. Looking great on my end. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you keep me updated, if my stream drops out or anything, just let me know. You are amazing. I'm subscribing right now. Thank you so much, Armin. I really do appreciate that, mate. Thank you. Am I the only one not worried about getting Ronaldo in? No, mate. No. Not at all. I think a lot of people will be avoiding him. Analytics FC on Twitter, all of the analytics guys suggesting that he might not be the best player moving forward. Lukaku could be a better option. Kane, Ronaldo, Bruno, Salah, De Bruyne, if De Bruyne's fit. Mane. There are far too many premiums. So no, not at all. You won't be the only one at all. What will happen to Greenwood? I think Greenwood will eventually see the bench quite soon. I think he'll play in game week 3. I think he'll probably play in game week 4. But there's no way he continues to start when Martial, Cavani, if Cavani doesn't leave, Ronaldo, Rashford, Pogba, Bruno. There's too many players for Dan James. there's too many players for Greenwood to not be benched. But I think you're fine for this week, and you're probably fine for game week 4. And he is fantastic, so maybe you can take the odd bench him. Kane and Greenwood or Bamford and Bruno? I prefer Bamford and Bruno myself. I bring in Raf this week. Same team as you, except Greenwood and no Wilson. -4 next week, Ronaldo and 4.5 mid. Yeah, I like that plan, Simon. I like that a lot. Son or Kane? If you've got both and you're asking me who to captain, absolutely Kane. If you're asking me who to bring in, probably still Kane, because he's a good placeholder for Lukaku and Ronaldo. What will happen to Rashford? So Rashford's obviously back in training now, but I think he'll take a while to come back. I don't think we're going to rush him back. We don't need him back anytime soon. I think probably game week 5, 6 will be when Rashford comes back. I think Rashford's below Greenwood in the pecking order at the moment. But yeah, it obviously adds another dimension that Sancho can't play on the left if Rashford's coming back, so he'll move to the right. So absolutely. Probably Rash and Sancho long term. I don't disagree with that, Simon. Ollie does love Ollie does love Sancho, so I wouldn't be surprised with Sancho and Rash long term. Didn't watch Man United versus Southampton. How did Man United look? Oh, God, terrible, mate. Terrible. We looked absolutely terrible against Southampton. Viva Rostaldo. Hello, Jordan, mate. Glad to see you in the stream. Hope you're all right. Son or Antonio as captain? We're going to discuss captaincy now, actually. Ross, I'm enjoying your stream. Thank you so much, Michael. I do appreciate that. I appreciate you watching all my videos as well. I've seen you in the comments quite a few times, so I appreciate that. Is Sancho now a good option? I'd like to see Sancho start a couple of games before I consider him. But Bruno to Sancho to fund Ronaldo. I like the Ronaldo and Sancho double up quite a lot. Ronaldo price. We've just discussed Ronaldo price. You can rewind the stream, but I think Ronaldo will be around 12.5 million myself. Is Amati going to start? Yes, probably this game week. Until Vestergaard and Evans are back, I'd expect Amati to keep starting. Long-term replacement for Greenwood, it's got to be Rafinha. Maybe Ben Rama. I like Rafinha moving forward. Streaming graphics look great. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. What's the best formation with Ronaldo in? I think it's the 4-2-3-1. Until we sign a world-class CDM, I don't feel comfortable playing a 4-3-3. I just don't. Pogba and Bruno in number 8 positions with McTominay and CDM, it might work, but I just think we're going to be a bit vulnerable in defence if we go for that. So for the time being, I think 4-2-3-1. If you're sorry, you might be asking about FPL actually. What's the best formation to fit him in? I still think 3-4-3. The formation I've got on screen, I think there's too many good strikers to not be in a 3-4-3 at the moment. You've got Wilson, Antonio, Jimenez, Bamford, Calvert-Lewin, Lukaku, Kane, Ronaldo. You've got to be on a 4-3-3 if you're wildcarding, I think, or if you're looking to move to a different formation. Like in the live stream, very calm way at looking at things amongst all the chaos. I'm glad, Dan. I'm trying to use my psychology to bring a bit of, to sort of a placid vibe about the screen, trying to make the stream, trying to make it as calm as possible. Go on then. Seeing as we're talking psychology, I will plug my book. The green screen ruins my book. My book doesn't look like that. It's the green screen chroma key makes it look see-through. But I've written a book. So if you're in the stream and you don't know that I've written a book, I have written a book on the psychology of FPL. So the links are in the description. So by all means, that would be fantastic if you could buy a copy of the book. That will be the last time I plug it this stream, I promise. Do you think Digne will drop in price tonight? Let's have a look, mate. I'll let you know right now. If anyone wants to know about any other price drops, I can have a look. I was hoping to be able to give you a definitive answer, Joel. Digne's very close to a price drop. He's falling at quite a slow rate. If I had to put my neck on the line, I'd say no. Fantasy Football Fix and FPL Statistics, the two places that predict price changes, have been quite... They've sort of overcooked the price fall slightly. So he's only at 95% progress and he's falling at 0.6%. So I'd say Digne's probably not going to fall, but it is close. So if you're looking to move him out, just do it now. I'd probably do. I got DCL in for Tony and Duffy in for White. Would this be a good way to go? Absolutely, mate. I like that a lot. I'm currently on 191 points. Smashing it. Absolutely smashing it. Who do you like most out of the mid-price forwards? I'm going to try and do a video on this in the international break. At the moment, I like... If you're looking at fixtures, I like Jimenez. If you're looking at underlying statistics, I like Calvert-Lewin. And if you're looking at everything, I like Bamford, which is a really terrible answer to your question. I apologise. But yeah, I like all three. Kane or Lukaku? Kane this week. Can't wait to get Ronaldo. Come on, Gamey 3 guys, fast as possible. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Triple captain Antonio. Not for me, Genghis Khan. No, I don't like using triple captain in single game weeks, but by all means, go for it. Dan, that was a good segue. I'm starting to nail the self-promotion, Dan. Any chance to plug the book? Absolutely. Mahrez or Son? Son, absolutely. Kane or Lukaku? Kane. You don't need to keep commenting that, Sanjeev. I've answered that now. So, Kane. I'd rather over Lukaku this week. Long term, probably Lukaku, but this week it's got to be Kane because you can captain him. Stream is excellent. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate that. Would you do Jota to Rafinha this week? Yes, I would. I don't expect Jota to start this week, and even if he does, I don't think Chelsea will give up a lot of opportunities. Semedo versus Tierney, game week 4 and after. Wolves have better fixtures, in my opinion, but Tierney is the better attacking option. I would probably favour Semedo at the moment just because Wolves look really good. Right, I'm getting carried away with the chat, just answering questions in the chat. Let me do the next thing. We're going to discuss captaincy, guys. So you can see I've just moved my camera as far to the corner as possible, so I don't want to block it. So I'm aware that I know it looks low stream quality. So I wanted my camera to still be there, but I wanted you to be able to see the touch maps. So what I've done here is I've got the top 3 options that are being discussed on FPL Twitter and on YouTube at the moment, which is Antonio, Bruno, and Son. And I've gone through the underlying statistics for each of them, and also below I have got the touch maps from the first 2 game weeks. So the left touch map is Antonio, middle touch map is Fernandes, and the right touch map, it should be right. The one next to me is Heung-min Son. And I've gone for like a traffic light system similar to the colours in the FPL fixture list. So green is the best underlying statistic of the 3. Grey it's the middle, the second best, and then red is the third best. What I would start by saying is if I owned Kane, I would be captaining Kane. I think Kane's the best captaincy option. If I owned Vardy, I'd also be tempted to captain Vardy. So I've not discussed Kane here. I've not discussed Vardy. If I owned Kane, I'd be captaining Kane. If I owned Vardy, I'd probably be going for Vardy. So I think the Raptor badge is blocking my bloody face, but oh well. We'll move it across a little bit like that. So I'm blocking Son's map slightly. Right. So what does this tell us? If you're just looking at the colours, Antonio has the best underlying statistics from the first 2 game weeks per 90 than Bruno and Son on everything apart from 1. Bruno is middle of the range on everything apart from 1. And Son is basically the worst on everything apart from 2. So if you're looking at underlying statistics from the first 2 game weeks, Son is the worst option, Antonio is the best. Now, what I would say, and I'm going to say this in case there's any of the analytics guys from Twitter watching my video, the sample size is so small that it's almost not worth looking at statistics from the first 2 game weeks, but it does paint a little bit of a picture. It tells you how they performed in the first 2 game weeks. There's massive amounts of variance that will come into play after the first 2. It's a very small sample size, but it gives us a little bit to look at. So what I would say is if you're looking at individual underlying statistics, you've got touches in the box. Antonio's got 7 compared to Bruno's 3 and Son's 3.89. Non-penalty XG close to 1. Expected assists, he's smashing it as well, so he's more creative, more of a goal threat. Expected FPL points, this is a really, really nice metric that Fantasy Football Fix do. It basically takes into account all underlying statistics. So that one in the middle of the screen, expected FPL points, that takes into account big chances, expected goals, expected assists, everything, shooting position, shooting angle. So it combines all of them. So Antonio's expected to score 11.5 points per 90 in FPL. Bruno's 7, which is still really impressive. Son at 5. Obviously worth noting that Tottenham played Man City in game week 1, so it's probably not a very fair representation for Son anyway. The one thing that is worth noting is Crystal Palace have actually been the best defensive team in the first 2 game weeks out of Wolves, Crystal Palace, and Watford. So Crystal Palace have only conceded 1 big chance in the first 2 game weeks. Crystal Palace have been very strong, and they played Chelsea in that time. They lost 3-0 to Chelsea. They played Chelsea. They played Brentford, who managed to put 2 goals past Arsenal. They've actually got one of the best defences in the first 2 game weeks. So this narrative that Crystal Palace are terrible isn't supported from the first couple of game weeks. And the other thing then, in line with that, what I would say, is that Watford have the worst defence. So, yes, if you're looking at underlying statistics, Antonio is the best option. But if you're looking at the opposition defence, Antonio is the worst option and Son is the best option. So if you're someone that likes to play with the fixtures, you're very keen on targeting the fixtures, I would say that Son is the best option. If you're someone that is targeting underlying statistics, who's in form, who's performing well, I would captain Antonio. And if you're just like to use a bit of everything and you like to use historical data, we know that Fernandes is capable of hauling on any game against any player. He can do it. 1 goal, 1 penalty, which will still be on this week, clean sheet point, 5 points for the goal. He could end up with 10 or 11 points by playing really poorly. We know Fernandes can do that. So it really depends what weighting you give everything. If you look at the touch maps, the reason I like Antonio and potentially even Son more than Fernandes is Fernandes just isn't getting into the box. 3 touches in the box per 90 compared to Antonio's 7. I want my player to be in the box. If they're not in the box, they're going to find it very difficult to score. So that's why I like Antonio at the moment. I would say at the moment, I'm probably 60% in favour of Antonio and 40% in favour of Bruno. I don't own Son. I think if I own Son, I'd captain Son. I know that's not what I said on my video a couple of days ago, but I think if I owned Son, I'd be captaining Son. The fixture's just too nice. Watford just haven't looked great. I know they defended very well in the Championship last year. I know Kane coming back in does change it because Son's now going to go out to the left. But I just think Son's a better option with Kane in the team. The link up between them has always been great. So I think if I was on Son, I'd probably captain Son. I'm not. So at the moment, I'm leaning towards Bruno Fernandes. Towards Antonio at the moment. But who knows what might happen tonight. I saw someone on Twitter say, I'm going to captain Bruno because he's going to put on a show. And Man United are going to put on a show now that we've signed Ronaldo. That's not the way it works. Wolves have looked very, very good. And I haven't even discussed that. This 1.02 expected goals against. Wolves played Leicester and Tottenham in the first 2 game weeks. And they've almost got the best underlying stats here for the defence. They defended really well. They're attacking really well. I actually think Wolves look like one of the best teams in the Prem in the first 2 game weeks. So it's not an easy fixture for Man United. Not an easy fixture at all. So put in the chat, let me know. Let's do a little poll. I'm going to do a captaincy poll. Cool. So vote in the poll once this is up. Let me know who you're going to captain. You can let me know in the comments as well. Cool. Put that in the comments. So let me know who you're captaining. It's very, very close for me at the moment. I think Antonio and Bruno will be pretty equally heavily captained, and I think Son will probably be the least heavily captained of the 3. I would imagine, but it'll be good to see. So I'll keep an eye on that. Cool. Cool. Go back to the chat. Any other questions? Any other dilemmas? I'm happy to answer. This is why I'm streaming as opposed to making a video, because I can talk about all this on a video, but I can't on a live stream. So let me know what your dilemmas are in the chat. Happy to answer them. Wilson captain. I think about that. I did think about it. I'm not going to lie. Wilson captain has crossed my mind. He was my vice captain for a couple of the days this week. I like it. He was very unfortunate not to score in game week 3. So yes. Long story short, Anthony, I quite like that. I'm not going to probably do it. I think Antonio's fixture, maybe not fixture, but Antonio's stats are definitely better. Ings or DCL? This week I prefer Ings. Long term I prefer DCL, personally. When will you sell Ings? I'll be selling Ings next week, almost definitely, unless something crazy happens. But even so, I think I'd just do it for -4. I think Ings to Jimenez is looking like a really nice option if I need the cash. If I've got money in the bank, I like Ings to DCL. And we can now do Ings to Bamford because Bamford's dropped in price to 7.9 million. So I'll be doing Ings to one of those 3. Or if Ronaldo does look fit for game week 4 like he's going to play, I might potentially do Ings to Ronaldo and then maybe downgrade Trent to fund that. We'll see. Was it not risky to bring Rafinha in for Gundogan? Yes, of course, but you've got to take a few risks. I think Rafinha is the better option long term. Gundogan's going to continue to fall in price, so I didn't want to be on Gundogan any longer. He could score this week against Arsenal. Of course he could. Jordan says, you said Trent is a must own. Explain yourself, sir. Isn't a must own, of course. Yeah, I just don't think he is. Chelsea and Leeds in the next 2 aren't great. Obviously, the fixtures are better after that, but the next 2 fixtures, I don't expect 2 clean sheets. Of course, Liverpool could keep a clean sheet. Of course, Trent could return. But if you're downgrading Trent to the likes of Livramento or Duffy, and you're using the funds to get another premium captaincy option in like Harry Kane, I'm gonna talk myself into bringing in Harry Kane in this stream and captaining him. I'm gonna do it. I can feel it. I just think Trent isn't essential anymore. He's not essential, and I think a lot of people start to pull him out so that they can upgrade and attack. Which week will be the best for using wildcard? I think the 2 best weeks for wildcard will be game week 4 after the international break and game week 8 after the international break again. So I would be targeting game week 4 or game week 8. Just a reminder for the 125 people in the stream at the moment, if you haven't liked the video and you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. The stream is going quite well, so I think I will be doing this more regularly. Hopefully 1 stream a week on top of at least 1 or 2 videos a week. So if you like the content, you like the graphics, you like what we're talking about here in the chat, please do like the stream and subscribe. Should I keep Salah or get Son? I wouldn't be doing Salah to Son this week unless you really want to captain Son and you've got a free transfer. I definitely wouldn't be doing it for a hit. What's your thoughts on West Ham assets once they begin their Europa group? So their Europa group is actually a lot better than we thought it might be. It's actually quite a kind Europa League group, so they might be able to rest the likes of Antonio occasionally or Ben Rama. So I wouldn't worry too much. The likes of Vladimir Sofal and Cresswell wouldn't worry me at all because they're going to play every game probably. But yeah, it's something to keep an eye on when the Europa League does start. I think West Ham, if they're playing their starting 11 in the Europa League, they might struggle a little bit. Thoughts on Dele Alli? Dele Alli's a massive punt. In the first 2 game weeks, Dele Alli's expected goals was 0 and Dele Alli's expected assists was 0. They're terrible stats. Apart from his penalty, which is, I'm talking about non-penalty expected goals, I should say. Dele Alli's statistics are terrible. So it's a massive punt, Jordan. I like Dele Alli. He has the potential there, but I probably wouldn't be going there myself. Now that he's not going to be on penalties because Kane's back. When are you selling Salah? I'm not definitely selling Salah. I'll assess that next week, but yeah, I'm not definitely selling him, so I can't answer that. For game week 4 onwards, Jimenez or Bamford? For game week 4, I like Jimenez because the Watford fixture. From game week 5 onwards, I think I prefer Bamford. So it's just whether you just do it anyway, because Leeds are playing Liverpool. I'm not sure I want triple Leeds against Liverpool, so I might be doing Jimenez that week. Think streaming every evening before the deadline is best. Less clashes. Yeah, exactly, Ethan. I'm not a big YouTuber. If I try and stream deadline and I clash with FPL Mate and Let's Talk FPL, FPL Phillips, I know streams deadline streams as well. No one's going to watch. So yeah, I will probably stream the evening before. We'll make it really chilled. I'll prepare some stuff as well, but it'll just be a chance for you to ask some questions. So glad that you said that, mate. 100% would tune in weekly. Amazing stuff. Thank you so much. Thoughts on Rico Henry? I like Rico Henry. I used to sign him a lot in FIFA career mode for those of you guys that play FIFA. I like Rico Henry. I think Brentford have looked really solid. I'd probably like to see a few more games from Brentford and then their fixtures turn. So Rico Henry might be a game week sort of 12, 13, 14 player for me. FPL fan show. Evening, mate. Hello. I'm not sure if that's Prince or Callum. Whoever it is, thank you for tuning in. I really do appreciate it, guys. Obviously love what you guys are doing as well. Antonio's Weetabix hamstrings. Yeah, those cheese strings for hamstrings, Antonio has. They'll struggle when games come thick and fast. I agree, JD, that if he's playing in the Europa League as well, those hamstrings might not recover very well from all those games. We'll talk about Dele next week. All right, Jordan. Listen, if he returns, you can come into the stream next week and tell me you told me so. FPL Phillips, just tuning in. How's the laptop coping? You let me know, mate. You let me know. Let me know how the stream looks. I think the laptop's coping okay. I'm expecting the camera battery to die soon, and yeah, that'll be fun. Tony out for a -4. No, not for me. Not for me. I think Tony will do well this week. Aston Villa haven't looked very good defensively, so I think I'd keep Tony this week. Although, let me have a look. Is Tony going down in price? Oh, yeah, Tony looks like he's going to fall in price tonight. That makes it a little bit different. So, yeah, if you need the funds, Tony might be someone that you want to ship out. Yeah. Go with Ronaldo, Kane and Salah in game week 4. Yeah, I like that quite a lot. I'm going to have a little tinker in a minute. Tony out for -4. No, so I said no to that. Thoughts on Diaz? Just a bit boring. It's a bit boring, isn't it? I think I'd prefer to take a risk on someone like Reece James myself. Mate, that's an insult to Dan and Andy throwing me in with them. Listen, up-and-coming YouTuber, Eddie. No, but I know a lot of people stream pre-deadline, so I don't think I want to clash with that. Obviously, if this channel grows and people want to tune in and less people do deadline streams, then I might do a couple of deadline streams. Is he not going to the international? I don't know who you're talking about there, Moose. You'll have to specify. I can't remember what that was in relation to. Any suggestions of players to put in defence? Yes, Semedo, Tierney, Luke Ayling. Look at players that fixture swing in game week 4. That's what I'd be looking at for now. Tony out for Adam Armstrong. I quite like that. Yeah, I quite like Adam Armstrong. Big fan of that. Thoughts on dropping a premium mid and Trent and double premium up front? Yeah, I quite like that as well. I don't know if that's better as a wildcard move unless you've got 2 free transfers and you can do it in like a -4. Is this your first year doing videos? Mate, I started my YouTube channel 4 weeks ago on Sunday, Stephen. I started my YouTube channel. So this is my first ever live stream for those of you that haven't tuned into my channel before. If you haven't, please do subscribe. Yeah, so I've been doing video. I think this is my 12th video on YouTube. So I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. Cresswell in for me. Yeah, I like Cresswell. The thing that puts me off Cresswell is he didn't take all of the corners in the previous game. Soufal was on a few. Bowen was on a lot of them. So if Cresswell's not on set pieces, he's not worth the extra cash to Soufal for me. Veltman to Semedo for a -4. I love that, mate. I love that. Who do I go for to replace Tony? I have 8 million. If you have 8, that means you can't get DCL. I'd go for Bamford. I like the fixture against Burnley, and then their fixtures next week are fantastic. Right, this is where we see how well the stream copes. I'm going to try and have a little bit of a tinker. Let's have a go. Oh, there we go. First hiccup, of course. Behind the scenes you're going to see now. That one. And then that one. Cool, look at that. Professional stuff. Apologies. Cool. Right, this is when the stream dies. Can't wait for it. 2.2 million in the bank. Tony out for a -4 and DCL in. I don't hate it, to be honest. DCL is great going forward. He's just going to continue to rise in price as well. The more DCL does, he'll just continue going up. I see a lot of people have gone for Ayling, but I'm wondering if he'll get many clean sheets or assists. Maybe not a ton, but for 4.5 million away into the Leeds defence, who I expect to defend significantly better this year, I quite like it. Hey, Ross Stonks here. Hello, mate. Hope you're okay. Can you resist getting the GOAT? I'm going to try and fight the urge. Well, yeah, I'm not going to do it this week. I'll try and fight the urge to wildcard. But if I can get him without wildcarding, I quite like that. Veltman or Simicast to Soufal. Keep Veltman. The fixtures going forward are nice. He's going to go straight back into the team as soon as he's fit. I'd do Simicast to Soufal. I'm not sure if it's worth a -4 unless you don't have someone else to play. Like, for example, I've benched Simicast this week because I've got Cody, who will play, but he's not going to be great, and I've got Ayling to play. So I wouldn't be moving Simicast out unless you really need it, to be honest. Veltman or Simicast to Soufal on a -4. Yeah, so did that one. Is Digne worth holding? So for those of you that follow me on Twitter, my nan, 80 years old, plays FPL. She absolutely loves FPL. I help her do her team each week, but I think she must be one of the older FPL players. But she's absolutely brilliant at it. She makes really cracking captaincy decisions. All of the decisions she makes herself. She does watch my videos, so she might be watching now if she's worked out to tune into a live stream. She wanted to move out Luka Digne this week, and she wanted to bring in Antonio Rudiger. And she asked me, is it worth doing Digne to Rudiger? She's like, I really like the look of Rudiger. And I told her that I would probably hold on to Digne this week. I just think give him one more against Brighton, who aren't the best team in attack. See what happens. And I think if they struggle again, Everton defensively, and he doesn't look that great going forward, I think in game week 4 you can use him as a bit of a cash cow. So yeah, I told Nana Raptor, Shirley, her name, Nana Raptor. I told her not to take out Luka Dean. So hopefully he does well this week because I like her to do as well as possible. She's done really well to start the season. She's on about 170 points. So she's ranked quite highly. Let me see if I can have a look. Oh, 161 points. So Nana Raptor. Nana Raptor's doing really, really well. Let me see, actually. I'll show you Nana Raptor's team from last week. She's a bit of a celebrity, I must admit. Let's have a look at Nana Raptor's team. Hopefully, I'm going to break my stream if I keep refreshing the internet. So this is Nana Raptor's team. Again, makes most of the decisions herself. As you can see, I wouldn't have started the season with Jimenez, but she knows she likes Jimenez. I told her I'd go for Shaw over Maguire, but she said she likes her Maguire choice. She absolutely loves Schmeichel because she watched Peter Schmeichel, obviously a lot back in the day, so she loves Casper as well. So this is Nana Raptor's team. Nana Raptor's smashing it. And I think I told her to try and roll the free transfer. So as things stand this week, she's rolling the free transfer. But her bench is quite weak. But I told her it's worth keeping hold of Ben White just because he'll be good from game week 4. Your nan sounds like an absolute... Oh, YouTube's just shouted at me that I've got an error. Sorry if the stream's cut out. YouTube just said I've not got enough internet. Cool. We'll see what happens. We'll go to the chat whilst my Cool. My stream is panicking. I'm not going to lie. We'll switch back to this for the time being. Yeah. It's losing frames. Yeah, thanks, Ethan. I know. I tried sharing. I tried going on the internet. My stream just went, no, not at all. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm going to give it a couple of, like a minute or so. I'll type in the chat just in case not. Cool. Can you let me know in the chat if you can still hear me and see me? Ah, cool. Yeah, sorry. Thank you for letting me know that the stream was dropping frames, Ethan. I saw it come up with a massive yellow error message on my Twitter stream. Right, I'm going to avoid for the time being then. Unfortunately for this stream then, I'm trying to get my internet sorted. I'm trying to get a better laptop as well. So for the time being, I'm not going to tinker with a wild card because, yeah, thanks. Thanks, Foff. Yeah, it's basically, yeah, as soon as I try and go on the internet, it died. Cool. Thanks, Pot Noodle. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. So I'll just keep it on this for now then. So we won't do any wildcard tinkering today. We're going to just, yeah, we'll just answer questions in the chat. For those of you that are wondering, I'm not looking to wildcard this week. I thought about it, but I just don't like to rush my wildcard. So what I was tempted to do, I'll just show you on the screen. You can imagine what it would look like. I was tempted this week. If I do Trent Alexander-Arnold to Duffy, I can afford Ings up to Kane, to Captain Kane. So because I've got one free transfer already, that would only be a -4, and I could Captain Kane. And I actually think Livramento against Newcastle is not a particular downgrade on Trent versus Chelsea. So I really do like the idea of that, but it means losing Trent and it means losing Ings before Brentford at home. But I do think Kane's the standout captaincy. So I'm still considering Trent to Livramento or Duffy and Ings to Kane. One of the two cheap defenders. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Amati or Duffy? Duffy. I think Amati, as soon as Vestergaard's back, I know that might not be for a while. I think it will be relatively soon. As soon as Amati as soon as Vestergaard or Evans are back, then yeah, unfortunately, Amati will lose his place. I know Duffy might lose his place when Veltman, Lamptey, and Dan Burn are all back, but I think Duffy's a slightly more long-term pick. Salah to Son and captain him. I don't dislike it, but I'm not huge. I don't think Son's a standout enough captaincy to do that. I think Kane is for the Pens as well. No, I don't like that, but I don't hate it. It's an aggressive move, and I like aggression in FPL. I think FPL is about having fun, right? If we're not going to have fun, then why on earth are we gonna play FPL? Pot Noodle says, who would be your key players on wildcard? Cool. So I would be going for at least one premium forward. If I were wildcarding now, I'd have Kane. If I were wildcarding in game week 4, I would have Lukaku or Ronaldo. So I'd have at least one premium, and I would have 2 of the £8 million strikers. So I think my front 3, if I were to wildcard this week, would be Kane, Bamford, and Calvert-Lewin. I think if I was to wildcard next week, it would probably be maybe Lukaku or Ronaldo, Jimenez and Bamford, or Jimenez and Calvert-Lewin. So the front 3, are the thing that I would put into my team first, because that's where all the value is at the moment. It's in those striking positions. So if I were wildcarding now, I would make sure I have a front 3. I'd play in a 3-4-3 formation. I would also try and have one of Salah or Fernandes. I would probably keep a hold of Fernandes for the time being, but I don't mind keeping either one. But I would try and make sure that I've got one premium in. I would also have Rafinha 100% in there. I would have Semedo or Cody because I like Wolves fixtures. I'd potentially have Adama Traore in my team as well. So I have been looking at a wildcard. It's a shame my bloody stream's not going to cope with me going on the internet. But I do like the idea of a wild card quite soon. And those are the sort of players I would be considering. Dropping Antonio, yeah, I'd be tempted. With Europa League coming up, with some nice fixture swings, his ownership has just skyrocketed. So if you're an aggressive manager, I quite like the idea of dropping him. We've got our points now, right? Is he going to continue it? Obviously, I've got the captaincy on him this week, but I don't. He's obviously not going to continue getting double digits every week. So I don't know. I'm not sure. FPL Game Week, Stevie, A Up Ross, and the Peoples. Hello, Stevie, mate. Listen, Stevie, the stream was going really well at the start, and the connection was fine. And I tried using the internet, and my stream died. So if it looks bad now, I do promise that it was better quality early on. But nice to see you in the chat, mate. Hope you're well. Same for you, Harry. FPL Tips is in the chat. If you haven't subscribed to the FPL Game Week or FPL Tips, Harry and Stevie, go subscribe. Subscribe to their channels. Feel free to plug your channels in here, guys. I don't mind at all. But they both create quality content. So I was just saying, Harry, my stream was fantastic quality before I started using the internet. And then YouTube sent me an error message and my stream froze. So I'm having to just use these graphics for the time being. Sugam. Sorry if I've butchered your name there. Connor Cody or Luke Ayling? I would be going for Connor Cody myself. I don't think either have great attacking potential, and I think the fixtures are slightly better for Wolves. What I would say in the Ayling versus Cody debate is if you need a player for this week, if you need to start them this week, obviously go for Ayling, and they've got Burnley. And obviously if you need a player in game week 4, definitely go for Cody over Ayling because of the fixtures. But I think I'd just about lean towards Cody. You can see I've got Cody on my team as well. Cool. When can you pick Ronaldo in FPL? As soon as he's announced, Derek. I don't know when he's going to be announced, but he'll be announced relatively soon, I assume. Thoughts on having Livramento starting over Trent? I'm thinking about clean sheet. So I just said I might be doing Trent to Livramento if I try and get Kane in. So I don't hate it. I think if you're ever going to bench Trent, just sell him. If there's ever a game when you're thinking, I don't know if I want to start Trent, it probably means you've lost confidence in him. So, yeah, I'm not sure, mate. I personally would just play. I'd just play Trent, I think. Stream is stopping. You're suffering from premature wildcardulation. Yes, mate. Absolutely. All the legends are here. Absolutely, FPL Phillips. I should say, I don't know if I said before, go subscribe to Eddie. Absolutely. Eddie's one of the best up-and-coming YouTube channels in the scene, producing regular content. He's also a part of the Fantasy Football Fix channel with me this year. So FPL Phillips in the chat. I had 2 free transfers and did Simicast and Ings to Livramento and DCL. Very sideways. I don't think that's sideways necessarily. I think for this week it's sideways because I think Ings could quite easily outscore. I think Ings could outscore DCL this week. So I don't like that for this week particularly, but to catch the price rise for DCL, I'm okay with that. Do you go to 2 premium midfielders and 1 premium forward, or 1 premium mid and 2 premium forwards? So I did just discuss this a little bit, but you're actually seeing my green screen flopping about in the top corner there. I think I prefer 1 premium mid, 1 premium forward, Stevie. I think I prefer 1 of Lukaku, Kane, Ronaldo, and then 1 of Salah and Bruno, and then making sure you've got the likes of Jimenez, Bamford, DCL, 2 of those, having a strong midfield, perhaps having a Man City midfielder or Havertz. I think there might be value in just trying to pick the correct 2 premiums. So, interesting one though, Stevie. I think I actually am leaning towards 2 premium forwards. I'm leaning towards like Lukaku and Ronaldo from game week 7. So, but I do also like just having 2 premiums and spreading the funds a little bit more. Do I sell Barnes? I've answered this question about 5 times, and every time I answer it differently, which shows that I'm just not sure. I would hang on to him for this week and hope, personally. If you've already had the price drop, I would just hang on to him. I would just hang on to him and hope that he does something against Norwich myself, but definitely sell before game week 4 against Manchester City. Hopefully that helps, Marcus. It's a difficult one. You just go with your gut feeling, mate. Lukaku or Kane? This week, Lukaku, so you can captain. This week, Kane, so that you can captain him. From game week 4 onwards, I prefer Lukaku. Do you think Ronaldo will be available before the deadline? So he definitely won't be able to play before game week 4, but he might be launched in the game before game week 4. But either way, just have a placeholder. Have Harry Kane in there for this week, and then obviously you can make the change then. How long have I been live streaming, by the way? Jesus, an hour. Okay, we'll be ending in 5 minutes or so. I don't want keep everyone's evening. And the streamer, it's playing. I'm playing with it a little bit. It's gone well so far, so I don't want to ruin that. Cool. Eric Dyer or Luke Ayling? Great. Are there any Spurs fans in the chat? If there are any Spurs fans in the chat, can you please answer that question for Notorious Nerd? Can you just let us know, is Dyer nailed? I'm under the impression, so I watched FPL Family, Sam. She did a video with, might have been Az from FPL Scout. Anyway, she said that she thinks Eric Dyer is nailed for the time being, and she thinks when Romero comes in, he'll take the place of Sanchez. If that's the case and Dyer is nailed, I think I prefer Dyer to Ayling. I think the next two fixtures are great. I really like it. And if he's nailed at 4.5 in a Spurs defence that are defending well, I quite like that. Long term, if you're looking at the next 8 to 10 game weeks, I think I prefer Ayling. But if you're targeting the next couple, I really like Eric Dyer. Best mid under 6.5 million that's not Ben Rama or Rafinha. Sarr. Ismaila Sarr. If you can take the fact that he's playing against Tottenham this week and don't expect him to get anything, if you can play someone else or just accept it, then I like Sarr as an option. Love the new graphics. Thank you very much, Luke. I really do appreciate that, mate. It means a lot to me. Your thoughts on Ferran Torres, Ankit? I just don't think I can be bothered. I don't think I can be bothered with the Pep Roulette. It does my bloody head in. I think I would just leave it, to be fair. Thoughts on wildcard in game week 4? I've spoke about that a little bit. I like it. It's definitely an option. It'll be game week 4, game week 8 for myself, Evan. Front three of DCL, Antonio and Ings. Then Ings out for who? So I would do Ings out for Bamford, Ings out for Jimenez, or potentially Ings out for Ronaldo or Lukaku, and obviously find the funds elsewhere, mate. Should I bring in Bamford as a 1 week punt? Yeah, Bamford's one of the best players, in my opinion, for this week. I like the look of Bamford a lot. As a United supporter, I'm defo chuffed with Ronaldo coming back. Just wonder if he gets minutes more for the ECL. Greenwood's been decent. Shame on the wee lad. Yeah, I agree, Stevie. No, Ronaldo's going to play every minute, surely. Surely we don't sit Ronaldo on the bench. I think Cavani might leave. There's rumours that Cavani's going to make way. Ronaldo get the 7. It means that we don't have Cavani to rely on as well. So I think Ronaldo will play every minute. It is a bit of a shame on Greenwood, but I still expect Greenwood to get a lot of minutes. I still expect him to get a lot of minutes. Best 4.5 million mid, pot noodle. Basuma. Has Basuma gone up? Oh, Basuma's gone up, hasn't he? Did I miss that? Let's have a look. Oh, no, he's not gone up. Okay, so Basuma might rise tonight. Tonight, then, as of tonight, Basuma's the best 4.5 million pound midfielder. But long term, yeah, I still think Basuma. I don't think you're going to want triple Brighton, so I'd still say Basuma, but it looks like you're going to have to get him tonight. After Basuma goes up, probably Gilmore, I guess. A bit boring, isn't it, to be honest? I'm just going to put in the chat, just for those of you that are wondering about price changes. That's where you can check price changes. So if you want to check any price changes for tonight, basically what you're looking out for is if it's over 100% the progress, the player's going to rise or fall in price, or where they're predicted to. And obviously, if they're below 100, we don't think they are. Cool. Oh, we just hit 100 likes. Thank you so much. If you've liked the stream, if you've subscribed to the channel, I appreciate that so much. Genuinely, absolutely delighted to hit 100 likes in the first. I thought I was going to have about 3 people watching, so it's nice that some people are here. Post-international breaks, thoughts on Saka? Love it, mate. Really like Saka. Saka would probably be... I was going to try and show you my Game Week 4 wildcard draft, but my internet's not coping. Saka would be in my Game Week 4 wildcard, probably. I really like the look of him, mate. Stevie says, imagine Ronaldo becomes the next Van der Beek. What, just sits on the bench and he's terrible? I can't imagine that will happen, to be fair. When to get Ronaldo best, Ross? Hello, Wing. Hello, mate. Appreciate you watching all of my videos. I see you in the comments every time, so thank you, mate. When to get Ronaldo? Game week 4. Probably he's going to go up in price. If he bags a brace against Newcastle, he's going to rise quicker than Antonio and Benrahma. So probably game week 4. I think if you miss that, you're just playing catch up. Is Jimenez on pens? Yes, mate. He is on penalties. 352, 100.2, 1 in the bank. Ings and Antonio up top. DCL in for Ings. I've seen a lot of people do Ings to DCL this week. I'd personally would just keep Ings. Why not? Ings playing Brentford. Probably going to outscore Calvert-Lewin against Brighton. Ben Foster, cycling goalkeeper. Keep up the good work, mate. Listen, if that is Ben Foster, I would have a heart attack, but I don't see a verification next to his name, so I think that's someone trolling. If it is, then great. I've got you on my bench, mate. And unfortunately, you've got a hamstring injury. But yeah, that's not Ben Foster, I don't think, unfortunately. Can you explain how Lukaku's price still hasn't increased? Yes. So I explained this earlier on in the stream, but I'll quickly do it for those of you that didn't manage to catch the earlier stream. When players first move into the game, so when Lukaku's announced, his price is locked for 7 days. So Lukaku can't go up or down in price for 7 days. That's what it's been in the past. So for the first 7 days, he was always locked. Now, I'm pretty sure it's been more than 7 days now. So it might be that FPL have changed their algorithm. So it might be that players are now locked in price for the first 10 days, the first 14. That will be why Lukaku hasn't changed in price, because he's been brought in by like over 1 million managers or something crazy. So that will be the reason why, mate. They're locked in price when they first join. So that'll be the same case for Ronaldo. The first 7 days for Ronaldo entering the league, he won't be able to change in price. Hopefully that answers your question, Sard. I'm thinking about taking a -4, Obafemi to Kane, Bruno to Greenwood, Son to Benrahma. So you're taking out Obafemi, Bruno, and Son, and you're taking out Son. Definitely wouldn't do that. If I've read that right, I might not have read that right. I would not be taking out Son this week. If you're bringing in Son, then I quite like that. Should I hold Buendia against Brentford or get Rafinha? Yeah, I'd hold Buendia against. Price rises and price falls might be an issue, but I'd just keep Buendia against Brentford. Congrats on 100 likes. Thank you so much, Anthony. Appreciate that. Gone up to 113 after I said that. Absolutely mental. You guys are so kind. Really appreciate it. What's up, Ben Foster? Yeah, if it's Ben Foster, Jesus Christ, Ben Foster watching my stream, but I don't think it is, mate. Yeah, it's a fake account. Yeah, unfortunately. Bit of a shame. Do you know when Ronaldo will be available to pick? Yeah, we just said this. He won't until he's officially announced. I know, obviously, it might have happened during me being on live stream, but I'm very unlikely that he would have completed his medical already. The paperwork will have to go through. He'll have to be announced officially. He'll have to have his medical. Once all of that's done, then we'll have more of an idea. I'm hoping Ings' price goes up in the international break so I can afford this. What is Ings at the moment? Ings would have to score probably a brace or at least a goal for his price to go up. But that would be nice, mate, if we can sell him for 8.1 rather than 8. Any concerns that Son and Kane need some time to re-gel? I did talk about this, Samuel, actually. Yeah. My immediate thought was that, yeah, they might need a bit of time to re-gel. But I've since gone against that. I just think they're world-class players. They play so well together. Kane came back firing. I know it was the Europa Conference League, but I think they should be fine. But listen, Spurs have struggled against Watford in the past, so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I've just realised I haven't had a check-up on the captaincy poll. Right, I'll end that poll. So Antonio won the captaincy poll. So over 50% of the people that voted on my live stream are captaining Antonio, which is really, really interesting. So, yeah, there you go. So it should be in the chat now. Antonio, 51%. Son, 21%. Interesting. So more people are captaining Son than Bruno, despite Bruno being owned by a lot more people. So Bruno might only be slightly over 100% effective ownership this weekend. And other 10%, I assume the other are maybe Kane, Vardy. Should I sell Simicast for Duffy now or wait? If you need Simicast this week, if you need that defender this week, then do it. Otherwise, I just wait. Look, I've got Simicast on my bench. Hopefully, yeah, you can just see the strip at the bottom. You can see I've got Simicast. I've just put him third bench. Don't need him. I don't need him this week. I've got Ailing. So if you don't need a player this week, just make the transfer next week. But if you need it, then yeah, just go to Duffy or Livramento now. Thanks for answering our questions. No worries, Joel. I'm trying to help. So yeah, hopefully they are helping. Hopefully I'm not just rambling. Hopefully the answers do help you guys. Evan, imagine City hijack the Ronaldo move. Mate, I would cry. I'd just be rocking in a corner for hours if City somehow hijacked the move back. Yeah, I would actually have a fit. Sorry, I have a drink of water. I haven't drunk water in hours. I don't know if anyone from the FPL Juice is in the chat, but I've got the FPL Juice glass. If you haven't subscribed to the FPL Juice channel, do so. Absolutely top bunch of lads. They gave me a free pint glass when I went on their stream last season. Bruno out Cristiano in game week 4. Yeah, quite like that. Who would you recommend for a midfield spot? Rafinha is top of the list. Ismail Assar from Game Week 4. Quite like that. Traore. Wolves fixtures turn for good. He's got great underlying stats. Is Bamford a good pick for the following weeks rather than Rafinha? Yeah, I quite like that. Just depends what position you need a player in. If you need a player in the attack, then get Bamford. If you need a player in the midfield, get Rafinha. I'm going to try and have both from Game Week 5 onwards myself. Wing said, thanks, Ross, for your answer, mate. No worries. Come on, everyone. Let's click the like button. Absolutely. Appreciate that. You'd be my wingman. I like that. Works with a name. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you're in the stream, please do consider liking. Obviously, if you didn't like the stream, you're not enjoying the stream, then don't like. Thoughts on Grealish? Might captain him. God, that's a bold move. Captaining Grealish against Arsenal. I quite like it. I'd keep him for this week. I'm not sure that I'd captain him. Any other crazy wildcard merchants this game week? Viva Ronaldo. I like the wildcard option this week because you can get Kane and Son, or potentially just Kane for captaincy, so I like it. FPL Texan. Hello, my man. How are you? How are we doing, Ross? I'm all good, mate. The stream's going fairly well. We had a bit of a hiccup when I tried using the internet, but other than that, I can't believe I've been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to stop in the next couple of minutes. I know I said that 15 minutes ago, but I will be stopping in the next few minutes. Team looking very strong. Thank you, mate. I'm really happy with it. Considering I've still got a free transfer, I've only used one free transfer for Gundogan to Rafinha. I'm delighted with my team. Captaincy isn't locked in. Follow me on Twitter. I can't be bothered to link it. The link's in the description. FPL Raptor. Follow me on Twitter. I'll post my team before the deadline. At the moment, I'm on Antonio. I actually quite like Wilson, Ings, and Rafinha as differential captain. So who knows how risky I might be feeling tomorrow morning. But for the time being, it's on Antonio. Ditch Bamford for Wilson. No, absolutely not. Even ditch Wilson for Bamford. I wouldn't be moving between the two. I'd keep whoever you've got. Nice stream. Really enjoy your work. Thank you so much, my man. I really appreciate that. Which wildcard should I use at what week? Well, you've only got one in the first half of the season. I'd be using it in Game Week 4 or Game Week 7 or Game Week 8. Curious to see how Wolves get on this season with their new manager. Absolutely, Joel, but they've been class in the first 2 game weeks. Some really good underlying statistics. Do you know what I'm going to switch to just for the time being, for those of you that missed the start of the stream? You can see my captaincy graphics just whilst I'm chatting. Great stream, mate. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Vida. Really appreciate that, mate. Can someone please explain the wild card? I'm new to FPL. Absolutely, Abino. That's why we are here to help. So, what is the wild card? The wild card allows you to make as many permanent changes as you want to your team without any hits. And those changes will be permanent from the future weeks. And you only get one wild card up until the mid-stage of the season. So, unlimited transfers, free of charge, and they're permanent changes. It's different from the free hit because with the free hit, you can make unlimited changes, but your team returns to the previous team the next game week. So yeah, that's the wild card essentially. So if you want to completely change your team and you don't want it to cost you loads of points, because if you make transfers, they'll cost you 4 points, then you can play the wild card. Cheers, Ross Belting, as always. Thank you, my man, Stevie. I appreciate that. I was tempted to bring in Son, but you're making me tempted by Kane instead. Oh, mate, I'm so tempted by Kane. I'm not trying to change your decisions. I'm not trying to call some sort of bandwagon, but I love Kane. If I was bringing in one, it would be Kane. Absolutely. Mahrez captain. I don't mind it, John. Listen, I wouldn't be captaining a player against Arsenal. I know Arsenal haven't been great, but there are certainly better fixtures to target, in my opinion. And with Man City players, you're always risking a 1-pointer. Yeah, thank you, Kingdom, for helping Abina. Hopefully my definition was clear for you, mate. Hopefully you now know what a wildcard is. Who is Ron? Sorry, I've just seen that. As a Newcastle fan, I would not captain Wilson. Okay, mate, I won't do it. I'm happy to keep him, but I won't captain him. Is Dele Alli a good pick? We discussed Dele Alli earlier. He's got 0 expected goals and 0 expected assists in the first 2 game weeks. His underlying statistics are 0. Considering he played both games, that's absolutely terrible. So no, I don't think he's a good pick if you're looking at statistics. But if you're looking at fixtures and if you're looking at punts and you want to take a nice big punt on a differential, I quite like Dele Alli. I was starting to like you, Ross, until that awful pun in. Mate, please. I apologise. I won't make any more wingman puns. Cheers, Ross. Going to call you Postman Ross because you always deliver. I might make that my new bio on Twitter, mate. Postman Ross because I always deliver. I like it. That's what we call Raul Jimenez as well, isn't it? Raul Jimenez is the postman. Right. going to go for 3 more minutes. I'm going to stop at hour 25. So any last minute dilemmas, now's the time. I won't be on for much longer. So any last minute dilemmas, let us know. Rom equals Lukaku. Yes. Sorry if I wasn't making that clear. Rom is Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku. Thanks, it really helped. Great stuff. FPL Texans, same team as you, but I've got Tony instead of Wilson. Oh, that's going to be a good battle this week, then, mate. I quite fancy Tony this week, so I wouldn't be surprised. Although I fancy Wilson at home. Maybe they'll both score a brace and we'll both get a nice big green arrow, mate. How set are you on Antonio captain? About 60% Antonio, 20% Fernandes, and then the other 20% other people. Wilson, Ings, Rafinha, Benrahma. But yeah, I'll probably end up on Antonio, mate. FPL Phillips says, Mahrez to Rafinha this week or save 1 free transfer to have 2 for the international break? I'd save your transfer, mate. I mean, I watched your videos throughout the week and I know that's what you're leaning toward anyway. Rafinha could go ballistic against Burnley, he really could, but so could Mahrez against Arsenal. And it might be that come the international break, perhaps you don't want Rafinha. Perhaps Rafinha has to quarantine. I think that extra week of information, mate, I'd prefer that. And you're in a really good position. Your team looks class anyway, so yeah, I'd roll that transfer already. Kane, Rafinha, Grealish, or Lukaku, Mbeumo, Grealish. Okay, so Grealish is in both. So it's Kane and Rafinha, or Lukaku and Mbeumo. Kane and Rafinha, absolutely. Should I get rid of Mount for Benrahma? No. If you've held on to Mount for the first few weeks, just hold on to him. The fixture starts to... Although, I don't know. If you've got Mount, there's a reason you've got him. Consider what was the reason you had him to start with. I'm confused. How does free hit, wildcard, etc. work in double game weeks? You just get 2 lots of games. So in a double game week, if you're wildcarding into the double game week, you get obviously everyone's games. In free hit, if you free hit in a double game week, you get basically 20 quick maths, 22 games as opposed to 11. And then obviously if you're using a bench boost, you're wildcarding into a bench boost, you can potentially get up to like 30 games, so it's crazy. So yeah, that's why I'm saving my free hit for either a blank game week or a double game week. 2 free transfers, who to bring in? Depends on your teammate. DCL, Bamford, Rafinha would be top of my list. If you had Vardy, would you captain him? Yeah, probably. I'd probably say Kane, Son, and then I would say like Antonio, Fernandes, Vardy. They're all pretty similar around each other, and then like differentials under that. So I think if I had Vardy, I'd be very, very tempted. You're going to get CR7 on the back of that shirt. So I probably won't get on the back of this shirt now because I've obviously got the shirt. It's plain. I went for like a classic look, but I'll probably get the 3rd kit or the 2nd kit with Ronaldo on, especially if he has that number 7. Absolutely, 100%. How do we sure double game week's going to come? How do we make sure double game week's going to come? We can't be sure. Well, yes, we can. There will be at least one double game week. We can't be sure that it's a good double game week. We can't be sure that there'll be lots of them. If you follow Ben Crellin, BENCRELLIN on Twitter, Ben Crellin, he predicts double game weeks in advance. So Ben Crellin will tell us. All hail Ben Crellin. All right, Ben Crellin will tell us. There's normally double game weeks later in the season when there's rearranged fixtures and Champions League and domestic competitions and stuff like that. So when there's a lot of build up around sort of game week 25 onwards, there'll be some double game weeks. FPL Philip says, cheers, Ross. Thanks for the stream. Loving all the content. I appreciate you, my man. Big inspiration for me. And I love all your content you're doing as well. We'll have to get you on a stream once I can sort out my internet, which I don't even know if it will ever be the case. But we'll get you on a stream. Absolutely, my man. Is Kevin De Bruyne out of your plans now? He wasn't ever in my plans. But yeah, he looks like he's going to miss game week 3 again. I don't know what's going on with him. He's really struggling with these injuries. Ben Crellin for double game weeks, absolutely wing. Right, last few questions, and then I'm going to stop it, guys. You had any thoughts on bringing in James for someone like Shaw? Yes, absolutely. James will be coming in for Shaw or Rudiger, but 100% I'll be bringing in a Chelsea defender, which links to FPL Steve, who's asked, hello FPL Steve, by the way, mate. Chelsea defenders, yes, very, very soon. Potentially one in game week 4. We was discussing earlier that Nana Raptor is looking to bring in Rudiger. So she knows about those Chelsea defenders. So yes, I will be bringing in Chelsea defenders probably when our wild card, which will hopefully be game week 7. which answers the question from Marco, when do you plan to wildcard? I'm going to try and hold off till game week 7 or game week 8, but there's a small possibility I wildcard in game week 4. I'll be doing like a wildcard stream hopefully in game week before game week 4. So I'll let you know if I do wildcard. I'll let you know what my team is. And if I'm not, I'll let you know what my team would be. Take it easy, Ross and Peoples. Thank you for tuning in, Stevie. I really do appreciate it, my man. FPL Cup, FA Cup is usually the catalyst for double game weeks. Yes, absolutely. Cool. Right. I think I'm going to call it there. Sorry, I know there's questions still coming in. Absolutely delighted that the first stream appears to work. I'll watch it back and make sure that there weren't any major issues. I know the stream dropped out when I tried looking on the internet, so I apologize for that. At least we know that unless the internet's looking very strong, then I'll avoid doing that for future streams. I'll just use my graphics. So just a recap. I've made one transfer. I've gone Gundogan to Rafinha. I'm not wildcarding this week. I'm still looking at potentially trying to get Kane in for captain, but I don't think I would. If I owned everyone, Kane would be my top captaincy, then Son, then Fernandes, Antonio, all of the other guys underneath that. So, yeah, that is the stream, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll switch back to my green screen for the outro. I'll basically be streaming, for those of you that weren't aware, I'm going to try and now stream once a week. So I'm going to do the evening before the deadline. So because it's a Saturday deadline, I've done Friday evening. If we've got a Friday deadline, I'll try and do a Thursday evening stream. I appreciate so much everyone that tuned in. If you are still in the stream and listening to me ramble my outro now, please can you just like the content? It really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, just subscribe. It's completely free for you to subscribe, and it helps the channel. Obviously, the more subscribers, the more YouTube will push my videos to other people, and the more I can interact with you guys. And hopefully these streams start to develop into amazing big streams, and I'll still make sure that I answer all of your comments. But thank you so much. I see everyone saying thank you for the stream. Thank you for the stream. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it so much. And yeah, I'll catch you all in the next one, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.